for Sacramento Kings basketball.
He's got the bucket!
Game night is presented by Power Business Technology, your locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or visit them at powercopiers.com. Here's your host, Scott Marsh, alongside the high flyer, Henry Turner.
He is Henry Turner.
Yes, I am.
I am not Scott Marsh.
No, he's not.
I'm Jason Ross, in for Scott Marsh. I just saw him. He's on his way to the airport. He's got Davis basketball.
I just saw him. He jumped in his ride and about to go jump on his private jet and
is that how he
fly down south. You know what? I actually think Scott kind of lives, a little larger than what he say he does.
Yeah,
because he's always flying. I mean, he's always going somewhere.
It's a good gig, right?
Great gig.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, anything going on in your world, Henry Turner?
No, not like that. No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, other news going around. Anything of interest for you?
Man.
Oh boy.
When this thing first hit, my phone blew up.
Yeah.
And it's one of those situations where when you first start getting all these texts and the phone, I'm like, did something happen? I've been dealing with my mom's health. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. What's happening? What's going on? And then all of a sudden I read the caption. I'm like, uh-oh. Wait a minute.
Yeah. So we got an hour and, experience from this morning, Henry, we had a 4-hour show. Dave and I have got plans. This is what we're talking about. We had previews for the Sixers. We had other stuff, some football notes. It's like, there's a game tonight. We just talked all about De'Aaron Fox and the Kings situation.
And, the one thing I hope don't happen, Jason, is that this type of news is kind of different than the Mike Brown news.
Okay, how so?
When Mike Brown news broke, it's over with. He's out. You have Doug. You have some familiarity there. Doug slides in. You still run the same offense. You still run the same defense. Nothing really changed that next night. But now you're starting to hear that your number one guy, your franchise player, is basically wanting out. It's like, now, how tight is the locker room with that?
Yeah, and then now we get into the semantics part because his camp, his wife, I'd say that's his camp, so he's never demanded a trade. Okay, semantically, maybe there's never been a verbal from De'Aaron that said, Kings, trade me.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
But much like anything, you had an agent. If your agent put something out, you were aware of it.
Yes.
So
because he don't put anything out in the public until he gets the okay from you. And and let's put this out there because a lot of people get it misconstrued. The player don't work for the agency. The agency works for the player.
Yeah.
So, you have to be on board and say, yes, put this out there. Yes, talk to these people. Yes, make the best possible decisions for this situation.
Yeah, and so, look, this is something that now with the trade deadline 8 days away, De'Aaron Fox's group basically had said, they would be, or maybe it came out something along the lines that the Kings are looking at potential offers. His group said, hey, look, they've got a preferred destination. There's been a couple of differing reports on that. Mainly we're hearing San Antonio. And that gets down to, does that mean he wants out for sure? They did say he would be willing to re-sign with Sacramento. That also then leads to, all right, Kings, is that putting some pressure on you? But I'm back to the locker room part. They literally have a game tonight.
Right.
He is at shoot-around. He's scheduled to play, scheduled to start, scheduled to do normal De'Aaron things. I know it's a business, and all you guys as athletes have never been like, oh, man, good for you. You got paid that. Good. I want you to get your money because maybe when my turn comes up, I get mine too. But they're still teammates. They may be teammates for one more game. They may be teammates for more years. That's weird.
And the thing about it is that, and I think De'Aaron is this type of guy. I don't know, but all I'm doing is speculating because when you're in that locker room, it's us against the world, right? And everybody has to believe in their brother. I'm sorry. It's just that way. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. At the end of the day, De'Aaron is going to have to be in that locker room and let each and every last one of those guys know. Yeah, fellas, you know what? I'm ready to move on. But until I do, I got this Kings uniform on. Yeah. I'm trying to win each and every last game that I can. That's the only way you can keep your integrity intact. And I think that dude will definitely do that, because you can easily take the Jimmy Butler route. You can easily take, I'm injured. He's got legitimate injuries.
He is injured. He's playing.
He's got legitimate injuries to say, you know what? I can't go.
Yeah, or I'm going to have the surgery.
Yep.
And I'm going to be done for the season. But yeah, this is what's best for me. And
Right.
De'Aaron's has not chosen that.
Right. And that's why I salute him for that.
Mm-hmm.
Trading and moving on is a part of the game.
Right.
It's a part of the business. I think Sacramento is just so up in arms because we haven't had a player of this magnitude since Chris Webber to be traded and moved on. But it's been done. Mitch moved on. Webb moved on. Vlade, Peja, everybody that's up in Sacramento's Mount Rushmore has moved on.
Yeah.
It's a part of the game.
I believe, if my facts are right, the only player in Sacramento Kings history to play 8 full seasons is still Jason Thompson. If De'Aaron finishes this year, De'Aaron's like 30 games away from becoming the all-time leader in games played.
Wow.
So he's really close.
Right.
If he makes it through the deadline, then he's going to break that. Obviously, he could be. I just, where are you just even on the thought of this, that it could be something that does happen maybe by next week? Maybe, who knows? What do you even think about the premise of it?
You know what? Because I do a lot of talking to a lot of people, man, and and I got a lot of different people. I talk to my folks back in Golden State. I talk to folks in Dallas, all over, down in LA, and some people threw it out there like, what about trading De'Aaron Fox? Because that ugly gremlin raised his head when Malik Monk started playing so well at the point guard position.
Mm-hmm.
When Malik started knocking down and start having those type of numbers, then the question came, well, is Fox expendable now? Because you got a guy that could run the point. Fox is basically playing the 2. Malik Monk handles the ball most of the time. So now it's like, oh, well, in order to make this team better, can the Kings move on from Fox?
Yeah, I think anything they do going forward, I would say this the same for next week's trade deadline. If they don't move Fox, whatever moves they do to add the team, they got to kind of thread the needle and get this thing right to get this team going to where they want to go. If they do move Fox, probably even more critical, Henry, for me, for this team, because I don't think everything they've done here has not been an approach to a rebuild. This is a team that wants to make the playoffs.
And they have their pieces, right.
Yeah, and they're close. I think they're close. Mm-hmm. But if you move on from Fox, you got to kind of nail it like you're still competitive this year. You're not punting on the season, but that you also look at it and you go, yeah, you know what? These moves made sense. And if that's picks combined with current players, combined with, you trade an all-star, you want to get something close to an all-star in return, or someone that could become one.
Right. And that's going to be the slippery slope to all of this, because, the Sacramento Kings still want to fight for something. Like you said, they're not in rebuild mode. They're not in blow it up and let's start from scratch. No, that's not the situation that they're in. They're still trying to fight for something this year. So, like you said, if you're going to move on from a player that's in his prime,
right?
De'Aaron's
kind of entering it, really. He's got a couple more years of it.
De'Aaron's in his prime, and you could say all-star prime, because he's right there. All-star prime, you would think that you're going to get an all-star back, or at least 2 all-star caliber type players for him.
Yeah, if we look at, I would put these 3 big trades in Kings history of like Mount Rushmore type Kings. You mentioned Mitch. Okay, Mitch was as good of a King as we've ever seen, but Mitch turned into Chris Webber.
Right.
Now, there was risk there, though. C-Webb was going to be his 3rd team, still young, but we all go, man, this guy, look at it. Michigan, he's got all sorts of potential.
Right.
That could have blown up. It didn't. It was fantastic. Mitch did his part, comes in, turns that into Chris Webber. Chris Webber had the nasty knee injury, wasn't the same player, but what they got back for Chris just...
Manny Moore and Jack.
Yeah, it didn't work. DeMarcus, I think, as far as great Kings, was a great King. the return, it didn't net them. They never really got back the talent level of DeMarcus.
No way, no how. We got Buddy Hield and who else?
Draft pick. But
Buddy Hield never
it wasn't the same.
had the dominant performance as what DeMarcus had. No way, no how.
So if you're doing it, and again, I think the Kings. I mean, my opinion on it, Henry, is no one's untradeable. I'm personally, this is me speaking. I'm not in the thought of trying to trade him, but if you get the feeling like he does want to go, or it makes more sense, or you just start talking to teams because this is out, you go, you know what? I wasn't thinking about this, but that offer's pretty good.
And then maybe you do it. And let's go back to this regime. This regime has really been pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm. You mean the front office?
Yeah,
of who they picked and what? Yeah,
they picked Keegan, right?
Yeah.
Moved on from Tyrese.
Yeah, but got Sabonis out of that.
Brought in, that's what I'm saying. Brought in Sabonis. Yeah. Hell of a move.
Yeah.
That's 2 plus, right? And then you re-sign Malik. That's a hell of a, believe me, if Malik ain't playing the way he playing right now, we ain't even thinking about doing anything with Flocks.
Yeah.
So that was a hell of a move for them, right?
Right.
And then they get the rookie.
Yeah.
Devin Carter's a good pick. So,
And DeRozan.
Yeah. So the basketball IQ and the thought and the movements that have been made by this organization has been in a forward trajectory.
Right. Yeah, certainly they haven't been perfect, but I think under Fox, I think there were more missteps in the earlier time when De'Aaron was here. And it feels like, I would say for the better part of the last couple of things they've done, I don't want to say they were catered to Fox, but with him in heavy consideration.
Yes.
Keeping Malik. Now, the Mike Brown thing is something different. That's a guy he was close to. I'm sure wanted to stick around. They made that change. That's the reality. And the odd part about all of this, Henry, and it all can come out when it comes out. It's out. They're 11-4 under. They're actually playing really good basketball.
Right. They have seemed to been reinsurged, and everybody was playing at a better level.
Yep.
So now this hits.
Yeah.
Where does the team go?
Yeah.
Where does the team go? And it's at such a critical point right now, Jay, because, you and I, we were just talking about the equity situation. The Kings don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the equity.
Right.
So, it's that situation to where they have to keep winning. We're not saying that they're going to win out.
Right.
But they have to keep winning. The Sacramento Kings don't need anything that's going to set them a step back.
Right.
Just one step.
Yeah.
They don't need anything that's going to make them go a step back, even if it is the rumors of your number one guy wanting to leave. This is not good for the basketball team. I can tell you that now.
Yeah, I just don't know how, no matter what happens, it's not a distraction for the next 8 days. If they get past next Thursday and the trade deadline comes and goes and De'Aaron's still a king, he's still a king. You move on. Every player, like, look, Herter's heard about being everybody's wanted to trade Herter for the better part of a year.
Mm-hmm.
Lyles, whoever, everybody who kind of makes it through that breathes a sigh of relief because they go, okay, now I know my path.
Right.
But now the fact that Fox could be in that, and that, how does that not impact Sabonis, DeRozan, Monk, Ellis? Now, some guys may benefit with minutes, but this is still one of their leaders and best players.
Let me tell you something. It impacts everybody. Because let's go back to just straight Sabonis.
Mm-hmm.
Sabonis looked at, when they were talking about trading him, I get to go there and play with De'Aaron Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Might have been a high point for him to come here. When they go talk to Malik Monk, we want to re-sign you. We want to have the Kentucky boys together. You and De'Aaron Fox.
Yep.
That might have been a high point for Malik Monk. Same thing when you talk about DeRozan. All right, Debo, we want to bring you here. You're going to be the yin to the yang. It's going to be DeRozan Fox. That might have been a high point for Debo saying, yes, I'm coming to Sacramento. Now you got a situation of, you leaving, dog?
Right. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Y'all, you breaking up the band? I mean, that all has to do with the maturity level of a basketball team and the level of camaraderie that these guys have. That's one thing we don't know. We don't know when they get into their own little circle, right?
Yeah.
Because like I said, I can see De'Aaron Fox doing this. calling the starting five to his room. I would. I definitely would. Knowing what I know now as a basketball player and as a pro, I would call my starting five. Matter of fact, I probably would call the whole team and say, here, fellas, here's the deal. So you guys hear from me. You know, because it's different when you speculate, I speculate. We're all speculating right now. But it's different when you're in that locker room and you hear it from the horse's mouth. Fellas, hey, until I am moved, I am with y'all guys. I got your back 150%. Nothing has changed. We're trying to win every game that we can possibly win. Yeah,
and even if there's always thoughts of anybody can be traded at any minute, at any time, anyone could go, hey, honestly, if I have the choice, I would rather be on this team for the back end of my career. But it's different than when it gets out and it's public and an agent says it and the team has to respond to it and fans speculate on it, because then it's like, did he demand? Is he upset? Is he ever going to play for the Kings again?
And that's why I'm saying that for De'Aaron's sake.
And the team's sake. He didn't have to tell us. He has to tell them.
Just your guys.
Absolutely.
Tell them exactly what's happening.
Right.
What's going on. I'm still with y'all.
Yeah.
Until it says something else on the front of my jersey, fellas.
Yeah.
I'm out there balling, because that goes a long way. And especially when you are a leader.
Right, which he is.
Yeah, when you are a leader of a team, you have to get that off, because you know what? Everybody got social media and everybody got their mind like, well, wow, really? I mean, is this really going to work, or is this really going to happen? You got to give those guys some type of insurance.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we got much more to get to on this. We're going to go for the full hour. Then Henry and I are in for Kings Live pregame. We do have Kings basketball. I'm not sure how much we'll get into Kings and the Sixers. We might get to that, but there's still a lot more to uncover on this. We're brought to you by Power Business Technology. Experience how the power of family can help your business office equipment needs today. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or go to powercopiers.com. This is Game Night. Jason Ross in for Scott Marsh. He's the high flyer, Henry Turner. We're back with more after this in Sacktown Sports.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Match De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
How about you try something new this year? A resolution to enjoy what you drive. And the only way to guarantee that is at Sacramento Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. And it's not just because they're centrally located right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course or their huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. It's because their general manager, Chuck Dean, and his team, they really take the time to get to know you and your goals. To them, it's not just about a car sale. It's about building generational relationships with someone you can trust. That's why people come from all over, Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because Sacramento Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, it's where a handshake still means something.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Anthony's slowing it down for us.
I was about to say, he trying to set the mood?
Yeah.
What's going on around here?
Welcome in, Sacktown Sports.
Careful, Jason.
Too much?
Sun's still up.
Who was that? Someone had a local radio show, night show, Between the Sheets, In Between the Sheets. I forget. It was on some, hip hop, R&B, or smooth jazz or something. It was like nighttime, slow talk. Yeah.
So
Tell me your concern.
So we know what you listen to.
Yeah.
At night.
Kings fans. You worried? Interesting times, to say the least. Jason Ross in for Scott Marsh. This is Game Night. Henry Turner here. Yeah, I like your thought on the communicate. Like, again, yeah, I want to know everything, but it's not for me, for you, for fans, for media. But I think that's really important for the teammates, because
it is, man. It really is.
I mean, I could connect this dot as a teammate and say, okay, I read this. I have social media. I see, preferred destination, San Antonio. So you mean to tell me that's better than what we have here? What are we doing, De'Aaron? Like, how do I not, as a player, go, we've been at camp, we've been working hard, we're trying to build this thing, and you think that is better than what we've got here? That to me is where I think those thoughts can go a negative way, and so communication is important. They can. That's why I said, communication has to be done, because when you're on the road, and this might be a good thing that they are on the road. With this, yeah. When you're on the road, it's us against the world. Yeah. It really is. It's everybody that's on this bus against the world. Yeah, and you're always together. Yes, we have to be on a string. And like you said, Jason, it's like when you start hearing the destination, it's like, really, bro? Yeah. I mean, everything that we didn't put in here, De'Aaron has to get together with those guys and let them know exactly he's still with this team right now, and until something different happens, he's giving it his all. Well, and still, also, I think the way the league is constructed, and De'Aaron is in this group of athletes that have done enough in their pro career that they can kind of, I mean, De'Aaron he hasn't done this, but he has the kind of equity or swagger or credibility based on his career so far to kind of go, I want to dictate the terms of, like, you get drafted to a team, you don't have a choice in that. True. And a lot of people can't wait to get to free agency, because then they can kind of survey and go, look, I've made it. I'm going to get a second contract. But you know what? I was drafted to this team. Thank you. But I've always wanted to be in this city for this organization. So De'Aaron hasn't had that opportunity. It will come up at free agency, or if they trade him, and now you put out publicly through your agent, hey, these are spots I would be willing to re-sign. So there's a little bit of gamesmanship here too, I think, with agency, is saying, look, like always, like, Kings, you should do whatever you think is right by you. But if you're trying to send us to Team X that we don't have on our list, we're letting Team X know you're not on our list, and we likely won't stay there. And I think that makes it a little bit harder to do any of these deals as well. It does, Jay, because, it definitely lets the others in the NBA know, don't even throw nothing out there. The only way you can. Now, when you are another basketball club, and we're just talking hypothetical here. Just throw a team out. That's fine. Let's say you're Houston. Okay. Right? And matter of fact, even better, Milwaukee. Okay. Milwaukee is like, because they've already been in that situation. Mm-hmm. Oh, they're willing to get up off of X, Y, and Z. We got some interesting parts. Let's see if we can get into this war. Because remember, we all thought Dame Lillard was going to Miami for sure. Right. That was a done deal. That's where he wanted to go. He's gone. And all of a sudden, Milwaukee said, wait a minute. Yeah.
we got a couple of pieces here that might can get this done. And all of a sudden, Portland's like, y'all willing to get up off of Drew Holiday?
Yeah.
Let me make some phone calls. Who interested in Drew? I mean, that's the way things go. And now all of a sudden, you got a feeding frenzy.
Yep.
Because I can get this guy and I can turn that guy into this one and that one.
Right.
That's the beauty of the NBA with all the executives when they start talking about, oh, now we know this guy's interested in being moving. Yeah. Because I tell you what, everybody in the NBA was like, De'Aaron Fox ain't leaving Sacramento.
Right.
So why he ain't even in no talks. All the talks have been Kevin Huerter, Keegan, the rookie, whatever else they got on the bench, Trey Lyles.
Yeah.
Nobody has said nothing about Monk. Nobody said nothing about Sabonis, and definitely nothing about De'Aaron because they knew out the gate those are no-nos.
Yeah, and I think the Kings' perspective on this, if this is a road they go down, I mean, not that you can't get a quality trade done in the next 8 days, but I feel like generally when you get to the offseason, you've got everybody in play. Like there's some teams that are probably not even calling or interested just because like, this is our plan. This is what we're doing. Or, we're trying to get through this season because we're trying to get this off the books. But hey, in the summertime, call us because we might have this offer. I feel like, and I could be wrong on this, that there's a bigger pool and probably more opportunities to explore this in the summertime.
I would say that, but I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Sure.
I bet you some teams out there that's saying,
with this piece, we become this team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This type of dude, this type of talent, we willing to take a huge swing.
Yeah.
Like I said, the same thing with the Dame Lillard type situation. Right. Oh, we got to take a huge swing at that.
Mm-hmm.
Because really, okay, he's not Dame Lillard. He's not Kevin Durant. He's not Steph Curry, but he next door.
Aaron's a terrific player.
He's right next door to that when you start talking about talent in this league. And we call those what? Once in a generational type players. It's going to be a lot of suitors.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, now that it's out, how public it is. I mean, not how public, how many offers, what are the Kings willing to do? What do they want? I mean, there's some, again, now we're getting into reports, what's real, what's not. Where they would like some future assets, certainly some players ready to win now. That's a tough thing to get from teams for in a trade like this.
And Jason, we always say this too, that the team that has the player, they always overvalue their player.
Yes, that's true.
They always overvalue our player. But in this scenario, bro, if I'm the Kings, I want the moon.
Absolutely.
I want the moon because he means that much to us.
Well, in recent memory, let's see what the Jazz did a few years ago. They got a boatload for a bunch of picks from Cleveland for Mitchell. The T-Wolves gave up like 9 players to get Gobert with 4,
yes.
I mean, I don't know if that market was too out of whack, but you got to explore all things if you're the Kings.
I want a partridge and the pear tree.
Yeah.
I want it all.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm also, again, this is me. I'm still not thinking that it has to be done either, unless you really get word from De'Aaron. Like if there's too much of a wandering eye, like this is broken, then I think you got to go down that road. But I don't know the facts to that, whether that's true or not.
Like I said, it's not the Jimmy Butler situation at all.
They're hamstrung there.
Right. You know what? Jimmy's leaving.
Right.
And the team, because the team really wasn't on Jimmy leaving.
Yeah.
Pat Riley came out and said, we're not interested in moving Jimmy Butler.
Right. And then he's made it impossible. So suspension and then,
Now he's forced the hand.
Right.
Right. So we know Jimmy Butler's intentions. I don't think De'Aaron is there, and he probably never will be there. But we got to see exactly how this plays out.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what that front office does, if they're going to look to move De'Aaron or say, you know what, we still, obviously they like their roster. We know there's some flaws. They've missed out on some depth, certainly some front court depth. I don't know if they can do a move there that pleases De'Aaron's group enough, because again, according to some reports, Sacramento would be a place he'd be willing to re-sign. We still know there's a lot of financial benefit for doing that. But what's that move? What's the one that you go, oh yeah, that's going to make this team good enough this back half of the season to please that group?
Right.
I don't know what that move is.
Right. I mean, it's a lot in the play, and it's so many different scenarios, but the thing about it is that just having that news in the air, In the long run, it might make the team better.
Mm-hmm.
But for the short run right now for this team, I don't think that news helped.
Yeah, right now in the next week or so.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think it helped this basketball team.
Yeah, they got this game coming up with Philly. We will talk about that and the impact of that more. Of this De'Aaron Fox rumors, all that stuff going on. I want to tell you about Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento. They're looking for volunteer mentors for just a few hours a month. You can impact the life of a child. Call 916-646-9300 or visit bbbs-sac.org to learn more. Break time for us. We've got more game night coming up right here on Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and skip the regular line at the airport and pay for speedy security. Imagine not having to quickly unpack and pack at the place you already came back to. And wearing your shoes the whole time you're there? You can't put a price on that kind of luxury. Well, actually you can, and you paid for it. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Taxes was waiting around for your taxes to be done, which led to worrying about not getting any money back. Now Taxes is matching with a TurboTax expert who can do your taxes in a day to get you up to $4,000 fast with a refund advance loan. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Expert filing only available with TurboTax Live Full Service. Refund advance has $0 loan fees and 0% APR. Refund advance loans may be issued by First Century Bank, N.A. or WebBank. Terms apply, subject to approval.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Meanwhile at Xfinity. Okay, huddle up. Do you realize how many fans stream basketball? It's madness.
But real fans stream with Xfinity Internet.
Totally. We've engineered the fastest connection.
With reduced buffering and low lag.
'Cause making streaming better is what we do!
Yeah!
Yeah!
Can we let go now? It's really not a huddle with two people.
Switch to Xfinity Internet and stream live sports from the best seat in the house. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speed vary. Not guaranteed.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. We could all use more time. Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. I can see why they call it smart. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Jason Ross in for Scott Marsh here on Game Night. High flyer Henry Turner. He and I have got the pregame coming your way in about 25 minutes. Do want to give you our injury report for today's game, brought to you by the law firm of Gingery, Hammer, and Associates. If you've got an injury, just call Gingery. Well, significant for today. Kings sheet looks pretty clean. But Philadelphia, Joel Embiid out. Paul George out. KJ Martin out. Caleb Martin out. And the Sacramento product, Jared McCain out. But that's a group yesterday that just thumped the Lakers. So back-to-back for them.
Can I give you my 3-letter consensus here?
Yeah.
Take care of business.
Yes. Yeah.
You going in once again to an undermanned team.
Yep.
You got to take care of business. For what the Kings got going on, and I'm just talking about now, strictly wins and losses.
Yep.
They have to take care of business and get this game.
Yeah, this is still a road trip. We targeted 3-3, especially if you could beat Minnesota on that 3-3. Well, they're 1-2. They got the win last game. Didn't play great. Good second half.
No, did what you had to do.
Yeah, and if you get this one, look, the different makeup this time with Philly, when the Kings played them, remember, they had to end with a 15-0 run to beat them here, and they didn't have Embiid that night. They did have Paul George, but they didn't have Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre's in tonight. He's going to be a problem defensively,
yes.
I think, for some of the wings of the Kings.
Yes, a big piece to have to deal with. But at the end of the day, Jason, whenever you get to go up against Philly, they don't have the big dog.
Yeah, you got to take
man. And then, you don't have the 1-2.
Right.
You don't have the Batman-Robin combination. You don't have those guys.
Yeah.
You have to take care of business.
Yeah.
Because we know going into OKC is going to be a serious crapshoot. And you're looking at Minnesota like, okay, we're going to end up in Minnesota. Got to give it that one more Herculean effort before you get back home. But if you can make it to 500, you've had a productive road trip.
Absolutely. And so tonight, we'll see how Philly plays. Last night, like I said, they thumped the Lakers. Maxey went off. He had 40+. So they're coming off a great performance. But this team's been disappointing, 18-27. This team was thinking title when you had Paul George to go with Embiid and Maxey.
No doubt.
Yeah,
I mean,
Oubre and Gordon and all the guys they've got, Lowry.
They were building that team, trying to go to to make a run for a championship, no doubt. But I will say this though, I'm feeling good for the Sacramento Kings when you say Embiid's out, Paul George is out. Now you play the Philadelphia 76ers the same way you played the Golden State Warriors, because Maxey is the guy that you have to get the ball out of his hands.
Yeah.
He's the guy that's going to try to beat you. Like you say, he went crazy the other night. Got 40-something, was able to beat the Lakers. You get the ball out of Maxey's hand, I think that's going to be a good situation for the Kings.
I remember when they were here and they didn't have Embiid in that game, and Yabusele is who they started, and Sabonis was going to town. Then they brought Drummond in. Drummond came off the bench. I'm like, ooh, that's a little bit different. Now, Drummond didn't play last night. I don't know where he's effectively going to be impacted today, but if he's also out, there's some light work on the inside right there.
It's Swiss cheese.
But Drummond's officially out? Oh, wow. Thank you, Anthony.
It's Swiss cheese at the rim.
Ooh.
It's Swiss cheese.
Got to go to work in there.
If you don't take advantage of the mismatch, Jason, you don't want to win this basketball game.
Right.
The writing is right there. Nobody's in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm going early and often to Sabonis, and I'm letting Sabonis know, bro, tonight you're not passing.
Yeah, and even let him feed, but look, he can also space the floor. Lanes for Fox, lanes for Monk, lanes for DeRozan.
Everybody, you know what? I know we shoot threes, but tonight we're cutting to the basket.
Yeah, get some points in the paint.
We are cutting to the basket.
One thing you and I were talking about in the break, I want to just carry over because obviously a ton of our conversation has been more about De'Aaron Fox and this whole situation the Kings are in with 8 days till the trade deadline. I think there is some logical thought to, hey, especially this year, they're 3-0 without Fox, and they played 3 of their best games. They beat the Warriors by 30. They won that game in Boston, and they had another win there somewhere. So they have great wins. But in the past, they haven't had the same kind of record. But it's like, okay, add this piece, boom, without De'Aaron Fox, maybe you got something. And that is a fact. Maybe that could be something.
Right.
But I don't want to discredit De'Aaron because I just know in some of the bigger games, some of the bigger moments, the playoff series that they've been in, even the play-ins, he's been really good. And he is a number one type guy. And it is different for if that becomes Malik or as the point guard. Or I think even in the games where De'Aaron struggles, he still helps this offense tremendously as far as a scout, an awareness, a guy you don't want to leave, and it does create things for other guys.
And you know what, Jason, I know exactly where you're going with this because fourth quarter Fox was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
This dude
it still is.
He has the ability to just take over when the Kings really needed him, and he was, the dude was consistent at it. He just didn't do it 1, 2, 3 games. He did it for a while for the Sacramento Kings, And, just having him on the floor opens up so many other things for other players, because we just talked about it, talking about Golden State. When Draymond's not out there, Steph plays a different game. When Wiggins is not there, Kuminga's not there, it's a different game for Steph.
Yeah.
But when Steph is not on the floor, it's a different game for those guys even more.
Right.
It affects them more than it affects Steph.
Yeah.
So as long as De'Aaron Fox is on the floor, it really helped push this team.
Yeah, it does. I mean, and he hopefully, last game we had read some of his quotes during the pregame saying, yeah, some people talking about my hand, my injuries, like, look, I'm playing. It's not a factor. I'm just shooting poorly. Then boom, last game he comes out, goes for 30, and right away it was like, man, he looks like he was making his shots last game against the Nets.
And that just goes to show that, this dude is still out there battling.
Mm-hmm.
He is still out there battling. Jason, I have seen so many instances to where guys have checked out and, disgruntled about whatever it is, and they just basically stop playing.
Right.
James Harden did it. Stop playing. Like I said, we alluded to it earlier. We see the Jimmy Butler syndrome. Players be like, you know what? I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
This dude is not doing that. And like I said, I can't say it enough, Jason. I salute him for what he's doing and how he's doing it, because he's going to play for this team until it doesn't say Kings on the front of his jersey anymore. Yeah. He's going to go out there and give it his all. And that's the only professional way you could do this, when you start looking at it as a business.
Yeah. And then I think, the irony of, look, the coaching change, we've said this, Doug has done some pretty amazing things. I think the fact that they have a former player now, right this minute, that's their head coach, that has been actually traded to this team,
that understands the ramifications of being traded.
Yeah, I think he can do his best. I mean, he's probably the best one equipped, not the only one, but one of the best one they have now to handle the noise of whatever that is today, whatever that means to anybody on that team, to De'Aaron, to anybody else, a starter, a reserve.
Team, right.
Just, I think, for whatever it's worth, I think that's good timing to have Doug there right now.
It is, Jason. And let's throw this out there too. Like I said, giving De'Aaron his props, how many players do you know would say, okay, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to get traded, I'm going to shut it down because I don't want to get hurt before I get traded.
Right. And that's where we go back to I don't know what the right term is, but the facts of it. Is it really, hey, this is a demand of a trade?
Right.
I know it hasn't been put in that terms. Or is it like, hey, if you're doing it, this is where I'd like to go. It just, where is it really falling in line?
Right. But what I'm saying is that we've seen players in the NBA that's like, I'm ready to go.
It's Jimmy right now.
I got swollen big toe.
Yep.
And don't want to play because they don't want to get hurt, because they don't want to devalue themselves as far as going out the door.
And or organizations have done that. Like, look, we're going to deal you within the next couple days.
We
don't want to crush this trade. The trade's going to, whatever it is, that's happened in the past. Like, you know what? All of a sudden there's a DNP for a player. Like, wow, where'd that come from? Oh, sore big toe. Oh, okay. Maybe they're getting dealt.
But, he hasn't done that. He's still out there trying to win games for the organization.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're going to try to win one today in Philadelphia. It's Kings and Sixers for the second time this year. Kings try to go for a season sweep. I'm with you, though. I think it's probably best that they're not here, because imagine if this was a home game tonight. I mean, there's still a portion of fans that are huge. Obviously, there's still huge De'Aaron fans. Some probably like, good, go. It would be weird if this was a home game tonight and Moke does the intros and there's De'Aaron Fox. Like that would be an odd situation.
It would.
Yeah.
It would. And, and it's crazy. We sit here talking about it, but they're reporting right now on ESPN. It says the biggest domino to fall as we approach trade deadline. It's not Jimmy Buckets.
Not anymore.
It's De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and sometimes, and you'll know that like teams want to make moves. And let's say it was still Jimmy Butler, or in this case, Fox. Like some teams can't do anything because they want to be involved in the mix. Like, oh, we won't make that smaller trade because we may need all our pieces because we're trying to get in this. Yeah, these things could be holding back some other trades too.
I mean, it's so many layers to it. It's just crazy.
Absolutely. We're going to talk more about that coming up. I want to thank again another sponsor, RT Painting. With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee owned, our attention to detail is second to none, but our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Now get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112, or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice. We'll come back. Final segment of Game Night. That is straight ahead here on Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, The Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer & Associates. When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust, along with my entire team. I have been helping accident survivors recover compensation for their injuries for 25 years, and we can help you. There is no charge for calling. If you have an injury, just call Ginger.
You can finally follow through with that resolution to get into that Jeep, Ram, Dodge, or Chrysler you've always wanted at Sacramento Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. It's the place where a handshake still means something, getting you the best deals in town with the best customer experience. See for yourself. They're centrally located right next to Hagen Oaks Golf Course.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-235-5588. That's 800-235-5588. 800-235-5588.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sacktown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting sacktownsports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. I've had my all-electric SUV for a little more than a year, and I continue to love it day after day. In fact, me and my daughter, we were just on vacation not too long ago, and we rented a car while we were on the trip, and my daughter said, "Dad, I like your car better." I turned to her and said, "Honey, you know what? I like it better as well." And I couldn't wait to get back home to my Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV. You know, at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, they are more than just a dealership. They're a partner you can trust throughout the entire ownership of your luxury vehicle. Whether it's a refined C-Class or versatile SUV lineup, your perfect Mercedes-Benz is there waiting for you. Plus, right now, you can enjoy 3.24% APR for up to 72 months on certified pre-owned models on approved credit. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is your trusted partner in luxury and reliability, and they've been doing it for more than 30 years. So head on down right now to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton or online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com.
All right, a few minutes to go here on game night, game afternoon, game day, game something, game on. Jason Ross, the high flyer, Henry Turner. Kings in Philadelphia against the Sixers. as we said now. So Drummond out, Embiid, George, Martin, McCain. Are they using Phillies and Eagles? What's going on with the Sixers, man?
Hey, you know what? They might have to go down to the college and get some type of center, some type of power forward.
Yeah.
Because it is shy in the front court.
Yeah, but yesterday, Yabusele, Edwards, Maxey, Gordon, and Oubre, pretty darn good. Went to their bench. Kyle Lowry over there, Reggie Jackson, Ricky Council. They put up 118 and beat the Lakers 118-104. Lakers also started Anthony Davis. He got hurt in that game. Only played 10 minutes, and then Anthony Davis got hurt.
And you know what, Jason? It might be one of these things. If I'm coaching Philly, this is me. If I'm coaching Philly, I'm looking at this situation as, okay, Kings a small ball team. Let's play small ball.
Yeah. And just be better at it than them for the day.
Let's play small ball.
Yeah.
I'm starting a small ball lineup, and hopefully you think that the Kings looking at like, okay, we play small ball. That's good. And, you know, instead of making the Kings saying, no, we not playing small ball tonight.
Right.
We playing big boy ball. We're going to our big boys all night. We're going to put you at a mismatch.
Yeah. Dominate the paint.
Yeah.
Because
I'm saying if Philly elects to go small ball, like you said, that gives them a chance. We go small ball, Kings go small ball. Well, let's see if we can out small ball them.
Yeah.
Because we know we can't out big boy them.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Kings inside, baby. Tonight is a inside the house night.
This feels like it's been such a weird year already. There's a coaching firing. You've got your star potentially being traded, maybe not being traded. Who knows? You were 12th. Now you're 10th. Got up to 7th. What are they, Henry? 2 out of 6, 2.5 out of 5th. I mean, just where is this season going to go? There's so many just twists and turns that can still go here.
That's why I'm saying, Jason, this team has to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
You know, we understand the magnification of all that we're dealing with right now.
A lot of noise.
Yes, and it can definitely take you in a downward trajectory, but we can't let that happen because you're so close to being where you want to be.
Yeah.
Even if you don't go higher, Jason, you have to stay status quo. That's what I'm saying. They got to go 500 this road trip.
Yeah, and that opportunity is today. This is one if you don't get today, yeah, can you win an OKC in Minnesota? Sure, but you're just making it way more difficult. You get to here, you're 2-2. Now you want every game, but now can you split the last two?
Right. And, and you're looking at things saying, you know what, we're going to go in OKC. We're going to give it a hell of a run. But if it don't happen, it's not the end of the world because we have one more to make up for that.
Yeah, and there's always nights you can gain some ground, like the Mavericks are on the road against the Pelicans. Who knows there? The Timberwolves and Suns play each other. Obviously, one of them will lose. The Warriors, who are behind you but still close, they play at home against the Thunder. So, this is a night, if you're trying to check a box for the Kings, somehow, some way, you remove the noise, concentrate, take care of your business. You'll get some help in the standings, and then see where this is going to go next.
Hey, you still chugging along, Jason, in the right direction.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've got the pregame coming your way here in just a moment. We thank all of you for listening to Game Night. We will be back with the pregame. Henry and I have that. The G-Man will join us. That is coming your way next on Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento